Save the updated science car. Let's go do some science in our science car. And let's take Bill. Bill the engineer. Oh, look at that! We get science right away. A material study on the runway. We'll go ahead and keep that, and then we'll recover. Get a couple of points. That's all we need, just a couple of points. There we go. 7 science. We're, you know, pretty close. So science car. Let's take Bob the scientist this time. We'll go ahead and we'll launch the science car. And this time we'll actually drive the science car. Driving the science car is better than not driving the science car. Alright, so throttle down to about a third. There we go. We'll turn the lights on. Let's go right up here to the front door of the VAB and say hello. Hello! Bonk. Turn the lights off. We made it! Okay, crew report. Magnetometer scan, material study. Mystery goose, seismic scan, and temperature scan. Let's get all those in. Boop, 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 boop. VAB, or EVA at the VAB. Boop. Reboard. Excellent. And recover. That should load us. That should net us like 20 some odd signs. 20.5. That was close. Alright, but we got what we needed. We got 98% back because we recovered at VAB. And Bob, no XP for Bob. Alright. So we want flight control to get the MechJeb. Yes. Okay. So we could go for modular wings if we were planning on doing planes. It only costs 1. We're not planning on doing any sort of aviation at all at the moment. I think next what we're probably going to do is go for enhanced survivability. I think that's probably a good one to go for next. Just trying to see. These are all for colonization and whatnot, setting up moon bases. We're not even close. We don't even have manned space system. I think what might be next is going for advanced construction to get aerodynamic shells and stuff, and winches and clampetrons and pivot joints, and we're gonna be able to build all sorts of craziness as time goes on with these mods. Alright, so we recovered our successful mission. What do we got? Do a low resolution scan, a low resolution altimetry scan of Kerbal. How is our scan coming? Let's go check that real quick. Let's take a look. Are we not scanning from that orbital craft? I thought that thing had a scanner on it. I thought that was the whole point of SCANSat B, was to scan from high orbit. Is it out of power or something? Hello, SCANSat B. What's going on here? SCANSat altitude too high. Of course, it's too high. Stop radar scan. Oh, no connection. Okay, so this crazy orbit is apparently too high. I wonder why. I don't know what the SCANSat range is. Is there any way for me to know that? Okay, this is too high. Let's head back to the Space Center and go take a look at the part in the VAB, and maybe it'll tell us what it needs to be at. VAB. Because I'm totally willing to bring that thing down as much as possible with what fuel it has left in order to get some scanning going. Max 500 kilometers. Okay. So a max of 500 kilometers, and we put it out way beyond that. I don't know if we're going to have fuel for that. It's at 5 million. So it's a factor of 10 too high. Alright, we'll make an attempt to put this thing in the right orbit. But, no idea if we're going to have the fuel for that. No idea. Okay. We just need to fast forward to a point where we have communication. We're under it right now, so that's not good. We're basically going to have to come up this way and wait for the planet to rotate around us. We're going to be burning from close to Apo, which is good. Alright, come on, planet. Spin around. Connection established. Excellent. Okay, so computer, orbital retrograde. So, we're pointing retrograde. Let's see what we can do with what little fuel we have. So 500 kilometers. We might be able to make it. We're barely using any fuel for this. So we completed the contract, so we could have just like deleted this or whatever. Like they can't uncomplete our contract. I'm just kind of I'm concerned that we might be able to do one side but not the other side. I'm gonna burn a bit faster. Below 500. We're at 500 and we're below 500. Okay. So we just need to flip around to that side and do the same thing. So I'm going to can I quick add? Nope. Because I haven't updated my tracking station, I'm not able to alert when we're gonna reach it, so we'll have to manually do this thing. So we'll zip up, and we might actually have a connection for this. Looks like we will anyway. Beep, 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 beep. Yep. Oh no, we're scanning. Okay, we're scanning and we have a connection. That's good. Or did we run out of power or something? We're out of electric power. My God. All right, we have power back though. Let's stop the scans. Here, buddy. My gosh. Okay. So we're still pointing retrograde. We'll begin to bring this in. And we're looking for a circle. Oh my gosh. Okay. 2 units left. 1 unit left. Ah! Oh, we were so close. Anyway, it looks like we're only going to be scanning for roughly a section of the orbit. So by no means is this an efficient method of performing this. We haven't gotten any data yet. Okay. We'll start the scans though. We're in ideal range. And if we pull up this, we should be able to see this is where we are. And if I fast forward some, I'll turn this off. I will set it though to, how about kill? We are mapping. I want to see what happens when we pass 500. Is it going to instantly say too high? Yep. We instantly go to too high and we stop getting data. So we're only ever going to receive terrain data from that tiny window where we are below 500. That's a horrible satellite. It's just not good, but we'll leave it there, whatever. We can bounce signals off of it. Okay. So now, what do we got here? This, we'll just accept this when we're very close to having 85% done. So a Kerbal powered landing. So vessel at Kerbal gets above 500 meters, has no parachute or radial parachute, and has no aerodynamic parts, and returns home. So this thing just needs to go up to 500 meters, wait, and come back down. And we get a bonus for doing it. That is very easy. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. That should be fairly easy to do. We just really just need stability controls, which we should now have because we have MechJeb. We do have MechJeb, yes. MechJeb. Okay. Let's start with a probe core. We want an advanced stabilization unit. And we want MechJeb on this thing. So there we go. This is MechJeb. This box here. It has this tab here to the side, and you can see while we're constructing our vessel, we have our Delta V stats. We can also get vessel info, which is not as interesting. The Delta V is obviously change in velocity, if you're not familiar with the rocket science lingo. And so that's basically how many meters per second you have that you can either add or subtract from your current speed. So right now there's no engines on this, so it has 0. It can't change its speed. It has no way of powering itself. If we were to, say, slap on this booster, bam! All of a sudden we have 2,500 meters per second worth of change, and our TWR, which is thrust to weight ratio, is 5.7. So this engine is strong enough that it's almost 6 times as strong as it needs to be. At a thrust to weight ratio of 1, you counteract gravity. So thrust that means your thrust is exactly equal to the weight of your thing. So you would just literally sit there perfectly still. Typically, you want to be close to 2 when you are launching. 2 thrust to weight ratio, and then in space it doesn't matter because there's no air to rip you apart if you're going at 5.7 times your weight or whatever. So we're not going to use this at all. No way. We're going to put on, I think, of this fuel tank, and then maybe the swivel engine. What do we get there? We have a lot of thrust to weight, but we can throttle this way down and have a very gentle takeoff. And this should be more than enough, I think, to get us into the air and then come back down. Now, we can't use any parts at all from aerodynamics, so no fins or anything like that to keep us stable. However, we can use landing legs, which are too short. Alright, what if I did a Terrier engine? Could I get a... Yeah, I could get 2 thrust to weight with a Terrier. Okay, so we can do Terrier. And then I'm going to put a ring of these around it. It's going to look kind of weird. It's just a circle of wheels, but if you look, the wheels have a crash tolerance of 25 meters per second. So I could drop this thing at 20 meters per second, and it would just bounce, and it'd be fine. It wouldn't explode. I'm going to go ahead and just, for safety's sake, slap a single battery on there. You can see as I started adding stuff, our thrust to weight went down. That's okay. We only have 800 meters per second, so we can accelerate to 800 meters per second, which should be more than enough. We're only going to 500 meters. I think we're good. What did we get? Oh, contract complete. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is good. Powered landing. Alright. We'll see. Okay, we'll try this. We'll do powered landing test. We'll save that, and we'll hit launch. And let's see what happens. Man, chat is really quiet. I'm a little sad face. There's no chat. Okay. So here you can see I'll put my brakes on. Brakes, and you can see some. I got my Delta V stats as well, and I've got orbital info. This shows us things like our apoapsis, our periapsis, our times, which technically we're not supposed to be able to see yet because we haven't unlocked the tracking station. But we can just say that the MechJeb is a computer, and it is calculating that. And so these are just an estimate. They are, in fact, accurate, though. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. Don't need any of this stuff. I, however, want surface info. And you can see the MechJeb light is red when you're not using any of it. So the surface info here gives us our speed, gives us our true altitude as well as our altitude above sea level. And basically, this is just what I'm going to be going for. It also has a smart SAS on here, which is it's similar to the flight computer. So if you didn't have a probe core and then thus didn't have a flight computer, you could use this. This works pretty okay in space, not so much here on the ground though. It also has smart RCS, you know, for doing RCS stuff. You can see vessel info again. You can just get the general MechJeb settings as well. And you can of course make a custom window if you wanted to that shows you like a conglomeration of informations. But I'm going to use the flight computer here. And we're going to go that. And we're going to just gently take off, reach 500 meters, and then kill the engines, and then power ourselves back down. Okay, so let's go. Why are we not taking off? We should have thrust to weight just fine. Yeah, we have a thrust to weight ratio of 2. Okay, I guess I will have to do the bigger engine. I could have sworn that would have worked. It is an octo ship, that's right. 0 science earned, we got our money back. Alright, bigger engine. No landing gear, because the landing gear won't touch the ground with the bigger engine in there. And if you see, if I take this out and put in the swivel engine, you can see the swivel engine sticks way out, so we're just gonna get rid of these guys. We don't need them. We don't need them. Alright, so that should be fine. With the bigger engine, though, it's less fuel efficient, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stick another fuel tank on there. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with this. Let's save this and let's give this a go. That was crazy. I clicked launch and it then clicked this game. I don't know what it is, but when I'm recording or streaming, my button clicks are super light. You can just see there very briefly all of the MechJeb options, and then some modules are disabled, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so flight computer, walk us on the straight upright, and we'll go ahead and go. Yeah, okay, so we got this. We're going up. We want to keep our speed fairly low, and we just want to go up 500 meters, and then basically suicide burn our way down. Let's have the contract open, so we know when we have completed its objective. I believe it's just going off of this, and not our true altitude. But the true altitude is going to be useful. Oh. I hit the wrong button, so we had a minor burst of full power. Okay, so we should be coming straight back down. And this only has a crash impact of, I think, 13 or so? 15 maybe? So basically what I'm going to be doing is spamming it at full thrust. Alright, we blew it up, but that's okay. It landed. It's fine. It's okay. See? He's happy. Happy face. Contract completed. Free money. And the engine did not cost $18,000, so we made a profit on that. Hooray, no science gained. We got some money back from our parts. We're almost up to 300,000. So if we wanted to upgrade this, it's 150,000. And it allows us to view patched conics, which we definitely need this before we're going to do a moon flyby. So the question is, do you want to do a moon flyby, or do we want to head for manned flight? Or, actually, really what we need to be doing is building this communications network, because the communications network is super duper utterly important. So if I close this, take a look at this. How much does it cost? 225,000, which would up our max parts all the way. It's a bit ridiculous. Is there any sort of like campaign funding? No. Patents, licensing, not enough science points. Effective immediately. We get $62. Cannot handle this energy more than 25% commitment. So all this will give us is 146. That's barely anything. So a bailout grant would sacrifice a bunch of reputation. I don't even know. The reputation's not a number, so I have no idea like how much this is. That we're going to be losing 171 of it effective immediately. But it would give us $14,000, which is a bit better. I haven't really fiddled with any of these strategies or anything. Hold on. Let's take a look at this contract. So if we set this up, 4 vessels, we get $300,000. I'm thinking that we do this right now. We attempt to do it as best we can. Maybe complete 1 or 2 of these contracts. Like, maybe some of these guys take a VIP thing. Oh, we don't really have the ability to take a VIP. We could put a satellite in a specific location. We know we can do that. This is it's just basically once you have a bunch of satellites, this is nice to just get some free money. And you have to do this kind of before you go to the moon, or else I think it disappears. We don't have anything to test at landed, though. We might want to put up a satellite. $88,000. That might be a good boost. But I'm not going to take it yet, because failure conditions, if you want to give up the contract, it does have a failure payment. But it is there, so we'll think about it. We're going to do the first of our communication satellites, though. So what do we have to do for the communication satellite? They have to be roughly 250,000 meters in the air, in space. They have to be perfectly level, inclination below 1, and the eccentricity has to be basically circular. And we need to have 4 of them. So this is a 2-star challenge. Prestige significant. So basically, what needs to happen is each satellite, the actual physical satellite part, I'll move this down here for now. The actual satellite part, I'm just going to go new, needs to have 4 of these guys on it. Not like this, obviously. Like make it look, you can make it look nice. But basically, you need to have left and right be partnered to the next, either the next satellite and the previous satellite. Then you need to have one communicating with the ground and one communicating with the other objects in space, basically. So the ones connecting to the others in the network ensure that the network always has data streaming to it. Every single one in the network wants to have one pointed at the ground, such that whichever satellite happens to be over the space center is beaming down directly to it. And then you want to have a free one so that anyone else in space can be like, hey, I need a signal back through the relay network, and you need to have a spot for that connection to occur. So you need at least 4. 4 is the minimum. And I made the mistake in a single player game of doing the 3 satellites, and then I only put 3 of those on there because I was running low on parts. And I was like, oh wait, they can communicate with each other on the ground, but none of them can communicate with anything else. So I ended up having to build a different network. Like I just ended up with 2 of these satellite networks, and one of them did nothing. It was a bit of a mess, but it was fun. And I learned a lot, so we're gonna do that. None of them are gonna have any science because science takes parts. Sorry, throat's getting a bit scratchy. So basically, they need to have batteries, they need to have solar panels, and they need to have communication dishes. Those are the main things. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a small reaction wheel. No, I don't think I need it. I'm going to have MechJeb slapped onto the side here. So I got my stats and stuff. Whether or not MechJeb comes along for the final ride depends on our situation. We need batteries. So we'll go ahead and we'll slap a battery on there and a fuel tank on there. We'll go ahead and we'll do... we'll flip these. I always push the exact wrong buttons from the way I want. No, let's put these actually like up here. That'll look cool. So that'll be my big panels coming out. And parts wise I'm at 6, I think it said. Move these over a bit. Yeah, 6. Up 30. Gosh, the 30 part limit is just so ridiculous. Okay. And then we want an obvious Terrier engine here. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 4,000 to low orbit. So we're wanting to rough between 5,000 and 6,000 delta V, I think, in order for these to just really be able to get in position without worry. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. So let's just go ahead and we'll slap 4 of these bad boys just on there like that. That should be fine. Okay. So you can see here the Terrier engine. You only get 580 in atmosphere, but you get 2,500 in the vacuum. So these work so much better when you're in space. They are just like very, very weak, but they're so fuel efficient that you get way more fuel. You get way more bang for your buck using these in space. But these would not get you off the ground. So that's why I'm using them for the inner stage. My gosh, this mouse lag is just redonkulous. Okay, we could go for a tri-stack. Let's try a tri-stack. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hagenlagen? I have no idea how you pronounce that. I apologize. I'm just gonna call you HL. Hello, HL. I apologize for butchering your name. All right. So then if I put not Reliance swivels under here, what do we get? We get we're up to 5,000. Okay, we're doing good. 5,000. It's not bad. Thrust to weight ratio of 3. It's okay. It's not bad. We'll go ahead and we'll strut all these together. Okay. And then what if I did radials? And what if I'd made these like thumpers? Let's say. Let's just as an example, thumpers. Our total's up over 6 now. That is quite a lot, actually. And if I were to, let's just say I burn all of these together, do we get any better? Nope, we have worse efficiency. Okay. We don't want... Okay, Steven! I can pronounce Steven. Steve? Welcome to the chat. I don't know if you've been watching for long or not. But I have been just kind of doing some satellite work here using the remote tech mod. And this is going to be our first communication satellite that we put into space. And we have 2 parts left. Oh, look at that. Okay, so MechJeb can come along, and we still have 2 parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add 2 batteries to this thing. Because batteries are super flippin' important. Okay, that should be our 30-part limit. Yeah, we're at 30 parts. How's our fuel efficiency? We're still over 6,000 meters per second total delta V. We have 2 thrust to weight ratio. Okay, that's fine. What if I bring this down? Bring it down. You can see our sort of total delta V doesn't change, but by bringing this down just a bit, maybe towards 1.85 thrust to weight ratio, we get a little bit longer burn, and thus it puts us a bit higher in the air, and we want that. We want the solid fuel boosters to get us as high as possible. I am running out of water. My throat is so... Oh, you guys are in my dish cabinet. That's cool. If you like that video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me, you can go ahead and subscribe. Just click the little button. You'll get new videos from me Monday through Friday, delivered right to your sub feed. It's a pretty awesome deal. And if you're feeling extra generous, I have a Patreon page. There's a link to that in the description. You can go ahead and leave a couple of bucks, and it'll help support me so I can make more content. You'll notice that I've got a couple of goals in order to do like 2 videos a day, videos on the weekend, including some live streaming on the weekends. It'll be great if you could do that, but you don't have to. It's totally optional. Just if you're super awesome and supportive, you can go ahead and do that. Anyway, I've blabbled on enough, and I will see you guys next time.